This is my 1979 Volkswagen Brasilia, which I bought sight unseen off the internet.
Rewind to July 2021. I bought this car off a guy on Facebook for a sum of money. First time I saw it was on my driveway on the back of a recovery truck. Fair to say, it needs a lot of work.
But moving on to the next part of this big build, we need to get the wiring loom removed out of the Brasilia to make it a bare carcass to get it ready for paint. And to do that, we need two things: masking tape and a Sharpie pen. And this is what we are dealing with.
A wiring loom is basically a collection of cables which travel around the car transmitting electrical current. It really is the brains of the car, because without it, it wouldn't work.
I think I may be tackling this at the wrong angle. The wires go through the body of the car and head towards the engine. There's lots of wires this side which would have to be pulled through a hole in the body and all fed through. So I think I've started at the wrong end. Let's move to the rear of the car and have a look at the cables and plugs and see what's going on that end. So that's where the wiring loom comes from, the inside of the car, which travels up and splits off down to, that is potentially the starter motor over there. But it also, don't know if you can see, it goes up through there onto the back, which comes out to where we are here. Cables come through there, which then feed to the rear lights. I need to take the bulbs off. I need to disconnect the wire from the starter motor down there and then pull that through the hole and then back through the chassis, and eventually that will come out over there.
The wiring loom is a fundamental part of the car. Like I said earlier, it is the brains of this thing. It sends electrical current through wires which go to vital components which actually help make the car work. For example, the starter motor, it receives electrical current to move the motor, which then helps us start the engine. Although it's a little bit tiring and a little bit tedious, getting the time in now, labelling these bits and pieces up, will really help us when it comes to rebuilding this thing further down the journey. And it's definitely worth taking the extra time to know where everything actually goes.
We've successfully managed to get the wiring loom from the rear, trail it all the way back to the front of the car, and now we're where the fuses are, where the relays are, if you call it. So we now probably have to have another look at all the wires and make sure we can read the labels we just put on them, and then work out how we're gonna sort all them cables out, because it's looking really daunting. I think we're just gonna have to do it in bite-sized chunks and work our way through it a little bit at a time. And I think, fingers crossed, we can't go too far wrong.
The wiring loom may be the brain of this car, but the heart of this car is so much more important. The heart of this car is Oldub, because without this car, Oldub wouldn't be a thing. You guys watching this video wouldn't be a thing. Our YouTube and our Instagram page wouldn't exist. And that's all thanks to this car. It's created happy times, and it's also created not so happy times. But this car has made lots of friends, and it's made us part of a family with Auto Finesse, and I'm so grateful for it. Now, I only think it's fair we give this car everything it deserves. A full repaint and restoration to the best of our ability to show it how much we appreciate everything it's done for us. Now, without this car, I don't know where I'd be today. Ladies and gentlemen, the Volkswagen Brasilia.
And in 6 hours, this moron has managed to remove the wiring loom out of the Brasilia. Now, the question is, Is it going to work when we put it back in the car? And am I going to know how to put it back in the car? And on that conundrum, well, thanks for watching.